Hello world, this is Jeffrey, JGB146 Blake, coming to you with episode 6 of the exploits of Necrozma Garbodor. This episode is going to feature some matches against Metagross, but before we get into those matches, I want to cover some changes, or really potential changes, to the deck list. So first, let's do a quick review of the deck list we've been playing. So we see here the standard set of cards. We've gone through them before. I'm not going to go through them again, but I want to identify where the problems in this list kind of are. First, it's sort of an issue that we have more Sycamore than N, because Sycamore often leads to discarding stuff that we actually need since we don't play VS Seekers and we don't have any strong recovery. We only have the one Super Rod. So that is a thing we're switching. We're going to be playing 4 N and 3 Sycamore. Additionally, the Potown Stadium is really powerful against evolution decks. However, Espeon-EX is really powerful against evolution decks. So we kind of don't need both. It's a lot easier to have a one-of copy of Espeon-EX than to have 3 copies of Potown. Espeon can't be field blowered away, so we're keeping Espeon for sure, which means we can drop the Potown and get rid of 3 dead cards in matches against big basic decks, which is where we kind of struggle anyway. That means we can make more room for some consistency cards, some cards to help our damage, etc. The other thing that we're looking at replacing potentially is Wobbuffet. So Wob is a great starter if you get him into the active as your first Pokemon. That's great, because he can shut down abilities from your opponent. But Lele for your opponent still works, and they can still get a lot of setup that way. Further, Wob requires 2 energy to retreat, so we have to stick a Float Stone on him to be able to do any of our real attacking. And he requires 2 energy attachments to attack. That can be hard to pull off, especially when we're already spending multiple turns attaching to Necrozma. It's just kind of too expensive. So I think we want to replace Wob with a better secondary attacker. And don't get me wrong, I've sung Wob's praises over and over throughout the series because he is really good for following up once you've got 100 damage on all GXs. He can KO most things, but I think it's just a little bit too expensive. So those are the changes we want to make. Now let's look at how we're making those changes. So one option, actually the first option that Seagrove and I looked at, is this deck list. So what we have here, you see we dropped Wob, and we now have a baby Mewtwo. So Mewtwo is good for 2 reasons. One, it's a single attachment. That's good. The psychic attack does 20 damage plus 20 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active. It's kind of like a weaker Lele, but it's a 1 prize attacker, and it's psychic, and it does hit for weakness. So that means that when you're facing an Espeon-GX, it has 3 energies. Mewtwo's going to hit it for 80, which is going to be doubled to 160. That's pretty good for a 1 prize attacker. If you stick a Choice Band on there, you're 1-hit KOing the Espeon-GX. But the problem comes in when you're not facing Espeon-GX. And this is why I haven't been doing a whole lot with this version of the list yet. That problem is that against like a Volcanion, you're only hitting for 80. And again, Volcanion is a bigger deal for us. Against Espeon, we can do spread damage, and then we can unevolve and get the KOs there. So to me, this attack, yes, with the Choice Band you can hit 110, which can be a good follow-up attack if they have all the energy on the Pokemon that you're trying to take out. That's good, but it's just, to me, it doesn't feel like it's enough. Other changes we made, we got the swap on the counts here. We've got an extra Choice Band, an extra Guzma. So things to just kind of improve the consistency. I think maybe an extra Field Blower or 2. That may have been a problem with the first list. I think I had ended up with no field blowers, and that's certainly a problem. But this is one build that we're considering. I haven't looked at it in depth yet, but I kind of prefer my other build, and that's the Meowth version. So let's take a look here. So obviously we have Meowth. Meowth is here in place of the Mewtwo, and I think everything else matches the Mewtwo list. So that's kind of one of the things we're looking at. I'm also considering switching out one of these Garbotoxin Garbodors for a second Trashalanche to give us another late game attacker that can hit fairly hard with one attachment. That's a change I'm considering, but I'm not sold on it yet, so I haven't even really tried it out much. I don't know what we get rid of, because part of me wants to keep the 2 line of Garbotoxins, so having like a 3-2-2 line there is where I want to be headed, but I don't know what to drop yet. So I'm sure I'll test that at some point and figure out what I can drop. But otherwise, this is the list I'm sort of experimenting with, while Seagrove experiments with the other version. And I think he might have one less Koko and still have the Wob in play. I guess before too long, I should probably talk about the Meowth. So Meowth for a DCE, which is a single attachment, but it is 2 energy, so if you're doing Psychic Energy, it takes 2. He does 50 damage to any of your opponent's Pokemon, but the Pokemon has to have damage counters on it. And that's an important but. I didn't record the video, but I actually overlooked that fact in a match against the Sylveon deck. So I promoted Meowth to try to hit for 50. I may have had a Choice Band even to hit for 80, so that I could get an easy follow-up with Necrozma. And I did nothing because I had not yet used Koko to get any damage on the Sylveon. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but that is something we have to keep in mind, and that might be enough to make Meowth take a back burner, but I'm not sure yet. So with that, we'll go ahead, and I think maybe one of the matches we look at uses this list, and the other 2 are using the Potown list. That's going to be how I split up the different types of lists too. We have the Potown list, the Meowth list, and the Mewtwo list. And until we kind of settle in, until there are more changes, that's just what they're going to be. I'll have whatever is most used in the video. In this case, in today's video, I have both lists, Meowth and Potown. Whichever list the video is primarily about for the rest of the series will be the one that is in the description. But today, like I said, we'll have both. And with that, let's go ahead and finally get into some matches. Okay, so as mentioned, we are playing against Metagross. You can tell from the energies that this is a Metagross playing the Alolan Vulpix for setup. And we get to go first. Good deal. Okay, so we end up starting with a Trubbish. That's okay. This isn't a great starting hand, but it's not horrible. And we will just go ahead and click done. We did not get any mulligans from our opponent. That's a little unfortunate. But we do see that they immediately benched a Mimikyu. That's kind of interesting. Usually that gets saved for later. That's okay though. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attach a Float Stone. And we're going to Ultra Ball. I think we'll discard the... Let's see. I think we can discard the Switch and the N probably. I guess I went with the Sycamore. Okay, so yeah, because we're going to get Brigette. We want to be able to, if our opponent gets Vulpix out, we want to be able to end them away. So we're just going through, checking a bit about prizes. Looks like none of our energies prized. None of the choice bands. Because again, this is the Potown list. So we'll get Lele, we'll get Brigette, and we'll get set up. I think in game I actually identified prizes better than I did just now. So, Brigette. And with Brigette we will get... Oh, okay, a Koko is prized. I get another Trubbish because Trubbish is pretty big here. Get one Koko to start spreading. We see one of the Garbotoxins is prized. One of the Potowns is prized. And then we'll just go ahead and attach to Necrozma for turn. And then we will retreat down into Koko. We're going to hold the Choice Band just so that we don't lose it needlessly. That may be... I may play it down before I end. Wow, and our opponent literally did nothing. Okay. So, I think we're going to attach again. I guess we're going to... It's almost tempting to just wait another turn. But this works too. So we can get Garbotoxin set up this turn. And I think we're good here. Next turn we can start doing some spread damage. Okay, we see an Ultra Ball. Our opponent's discarding Lele, getting him a Tang. And it's us. Okay, so we have a couple options here. We can attach the DC to Necrozma, take a KO, and then next turn if we can get one Psychic Energy, we'd get another KO on the Mimikyu. I kind of like that option. Spreading here isn't really necessary. I think that's probably the best choice. So we're going to do that. I'm attaching... I guess we'll wait. Part of me wanted to go ahead and attach DC, or attach Float to Necrozma in case we need to retreat him, but we do have the DC that'll be left on there. And I think we can just go this route instead. So, take down one prize. We have an Espeon. Espeon doesn't help us much. Mimikyu's just going to draw cards. That's not going to matter. And we will be able to attach KO and win the game. So, pretty awesome. Fast game. And we hit for 70. Is Mimikyu not weak to Psychic? I expected that to be 140. Anyway, we'll go ahead without any pause. We'll get into the next match. Obviously, that was a great match for us, but mostly about our opponent drawing. And here we are again. Again, we won the coin flip. That's nice. And we will take our turn. Okay. Once again, we're starting Trubbish. This hand actually looks a lot worse than our last game. So we'll go ahead and click done. Almost wish we weren't going first here. Ooh, Mewtwo EX. What is going on here? That is interesting. We're gonna go ahead and bench the Wob. And I'll go ahead, Max Elixir onto it, and I think we're gonna attach the float, retreat into Wobbuffet, and then go ahead and attach an energy. I think this is good. We'll hit just for 20 the first go, but okay, and we get an in this go around, so that could help. He's gonna hit us for 60, so he's getting a 2-hit KO on Wobbuffet. We've got a Lillie, we've got a Koko, got a Max Elixir, got a DCE. Okay, so we can put Koko up, we can attach DCE to Koko. Can't, do we want to, I don't think we want to play the Max Elixir. So, how do we want to do this? We could Guzma and just start spreading, but getting a few more cards could be, I guess we should Guzma. I guess we'll hit for 20. Or maybe we just retreat and hit both of them for 20 and we don't get KO'd. I think we do that. I think we retreat and do some spread. I'm on the fence about whether or not we should use the Max Elixir. I think we're gonna wait, because we're gonna want to get probably 2 spreads off before we use it anyway. We see a Choice Band come down, a second energy get attached, and a Choice Band to the Metagross on the bench. Okay, Lele comes out. I'm assuming this is going to be a draw supporter, a Sycamore, because I don't know why he didn't want in, but I mean, obviously he gets more cards with Sycamore, so maybe that's why. We didn't use that many of our cards last turn. Oh, and we see the rare candy into Metagross. That was nice and fast. So, let's look at this. Alright, if we get... So he's hitting us for 60, so he will take a KO on Koko next turn. I think we're just going to go ahead and bridge it and develop our board a little bit more. We'll get Espeon. Oh, Espeon's an EX. No, we'll not get Espeon. So let's do Necrozma. Let's get another Trubbish and another Koko. Okay. Now we can get 2 energy down. I think we'll go ahead and Super Rod, get those energies back in the deck, and increase our chances of hitting with the Max Elixirs. And then now we'll Max Elixir, we hit one of them, we'll put it on Necrozma. And so part of me is thinking attach DCE, do spread. Let's see if we hit this elixir. We do. So where do we want to go with this one? We could put it onto Necrozma, or we could put it onto Wob. I chose Wob. I'm not sure I like that. So if we do spread damage here, the problem with this is that he has that damage change attack, and that can completely heal Mewtwo and put 120 onto Necrozma. If he doesn't use it, we get a KO next turn, but I don't know. And he max pushes Lele. That's kind of strange. I would have expected that on one of the other 2 instead. So right now, without the damage change, he's hitting us for 60, 120. So he hits us for 120 either way. If he gets another psychic energy attached, it will be hitting us for... He attaches to the bench. Guess he's giving up on this Mewtwo? It's kind of strange. I would have thought that the better play would have been to do the damage change. Oh! The Choice Band! So he gets the KO. Okay. We're gonna stick up Koko. Then we have to decide how we want to respond. Let's see. He's used 3 items so far. That doesn't give a lot of power to a Trashalanche Garb. I think we're going to go ahead, power up Wob, and probably take a KO that way. I'm on the fence as to what I want to KO though. We could take out Metagross, but then we may have a difficult time taking out Mewtwo. Can we take out Metagross? Choice Band. Okay, so attach. I don't know if I realized it in game, but we can't actually take out Metagross. So we can either do some more spread, or we can KO the Mewtwo EX. He has no energy, he only has 3 items. Okay, so I went ahead and went with Guzma onto the Metagross. Curious what I do here, because I think that's fine because he's not going to be able to retreat. And then I did see that we don't do enough spread. We don't do enough damage with Wob. Good. I was concerned that I didn't see it. Oh, do I see it? Oh no. The right play here is to retreat into Koko and do more spread damage. Okay, good. Okay, so we're gonna do spread damage, and that'll work. We are getting to the point that we want to take some prizes soon. If we're able to do so, it would be great to KO the Mewtwo on the bench first, and then take out the active Metagross. He's playing Super Rod. Oh, getting back, just Pokemon. Okay, I was like, we just checked and there was no energy. But playing Super Rod to get back energy at this point would be kind of silly anyway. Okay, so we're gonna get an Olympia. Well, that's a pain. That's not what we wanted to see. I guess we're gonna have to just... Ugh. Well, we'll send up Koko for the free retreat. No, don't just... Never do that. Always send up your free retreat Pokemon so you can make a decision once you see what card you get off the top deck. Didn't change anything here. We are going to just take the KO, kind of wasting the power of Wobbuffet there. But we get some DCEs. That's better than nothing. However, he's going to be able to now use Metagross and easily KO the Wobbuffet. We're not looking good, folks. We see a Guzma. Wait, what is he gonna Guzma? And Guzma's Koko into the active. And what on earth? He wants to take a 2-hit KO against Koko instead of sort of Wah. That's really, really kind of strange. Okay. So I guess he's considering Koko to be the biggest threat. The Ultra Ball here can be helpful. So we're going to attach DCE to Koko, and then I think we'll Ultra Ball probably for a Lele. And let's see what we can get off of a Sycamore. I'm not saying that keeping the Wob alive is going to win us the game, but keeping the Wob alive could win us the game. See, we don't have Trashalanche in our deck currently. That's a little uncool. So we've got a Float, Espeon. Nothing has enough damage on it for Espeon to matter. He's already evolved everything, so Potown's kind of useless at this point. Unless we were to get Espeon in place. Okay. Espeon would be an easy 2 more prizes for him as well. I think we're just going to Flying Flip. I really don't like it. Our one saving grace is that our opponent literally had no cards in their hand, so they're left to just top deck. And they attach to Lele. And then they take the second attack onto Koko. Okay. So if we were to end them, we'd actually give them more cards. I'm going to go ahead and bench the Espeon. I think Espeon could come in handy later. We'll stick this Float here. I think it's worth it to play the Potown. I think he's going to be able to KO our Wobs either way if he ever is able to attack them. And then we'll just go ahead and Sycamore again. Okay, so we got a Choice Band, we got another Float, we got some energies, we got our Garbotoxin. We'll go ahead and bench Koko. And attach to Espeon-EX. Wob with the choice. Okay, so what is Wob doing here? We'll turn off abilities. We take the hit for that. That's okay. Okay, so we're gonna do a no. Oh wow, wow! I didn't do the math here, but I think I did it in game. So the way that worked was before the Choice Band, we did quadruple time the damage on him. So he had 40, and that means Wob is hitting for 50. And then times 2 is 100. We add the Choice Band, that's 160. So that's how we got the KO there. That was pretty awesome. And we got Garbotoxin off the prizes. Okay, so how many? I think there's enough in there. Oh, yep. Clearly there was. Our opponent conceded. That was a tight race and kind of not a standard Metagross match. It was more of a Mewtwo EX match with Metagross support. But it worked out. We'll get one more match and this will actually be a Metagross match. Okay, here we are. We do not see a Vulpix, so this might be a little bit of a different build. We are, for this match, playing the Meowth deck. That means we don't have Potown. We've got some extra Guzmas and Choice Bands, and we have Meowth instead of Wob. Which, after the last game, kind of makes me think maybe Wob is worth keeping around. I don't know. We'll play around with it. But anyway, this is a Meowth game. And our opponent finally gets here with the coin flip. Hopefully they will flip soon. Okay, they're gonna go first. And we get not a great start. I think we lead with Trubbish here and attach the float. I think that's the right play. Did I start Meowth? I considered starting Meowth. I think again I wasn't realizing at this point that we have to have damage on our opponent to attack. I go ahead and bench Meowth. I think it's worth doing because once we've done any damage, he can be pretty good for us. And we'll go from here. Opponent attaches an energy and a choice band, and then plays in. Okay. We liked our hand well enough, but that's okay. We get some parts of it back. Actually, we get a pretty strong set of cards there. And our opponent gets another Beldum up. No energy in the discard so far. Ooh, a Shaman. I guess that was the Colorless that we saw on the energy screen. That's kind of strange. I guess they're trying to speed up their setup, since Metagross can be pretty bad for setting up slowly. I can see the value there. And then they pass over to us, so Shaman didn't do him very much good. We do get a Float Stone. That's great. I think we're definitely gonna Ultra Ball here. I'm trying to decide if it's worth it to Field Blower the Choice Band, but we can Ultra Ball first and then decide. So we don't need Guzma. We can drop an energy. We'll get the energy back later. We are missing Trashalanche. We're just gonna get Lele. We're missing Trashalanche. We have both Field Blowers. We're missing one Max Elixir, one Guzma, one in. No, we played the in, didn't we? Oh, maybe we're missing it. We're missing an in. This is our first turn. A Lele, and were we missing Brigette? Is that why I decided? I didn't notice if we were missing Brigette or not. No. But if we were, that's why. So I Lillie for 6 cards. Part of me really thinks it would have been worth it to just Field Blower away the tool and Lillie for an extra card. In any case, we didn't do it. We'll go ahead and play the Max Elixir. It does hit. So now I have to decide what to do with it. And I'm really torn here between sticking it on a Koko so that we're able to attack this turn, or putting it onto Necrozma to get him ready to go. But doing some spread damage means that if we're able to power up Necrozma, he can get a one-hit KO on, like, his GX will do a KO on Shaman as well. That could be cool. We see another Beldum come down. The other thing about powering up Necrozma later is that right now we don't have any GXs to really hit. And that's about to change. Okay, so who's he gonna power up? I would assume he'd evolve the active. It has 20 damage on it, but it's only 20 damage, and that way he can start amassing energy onto it. Okay, yes, that's what we see. Next turn, I think we definitely want to Field Blower. Since he used Skyla already, we will have these cards. He's getting rid of our Float Stone. We'll get rid of his Choice Band. Is he going to be able to attack? He pretty much has no way to discard energy. And he manually attached once already. So he's just going to algorithm. Okay. That works out well for us because we have an N. So we don't really care what he's doing. He's going to take his time deciding what cards he wants. I guess we could speculate, right? So he's going to want a rare candy and a Metagross. Maybe another rare candy and another Metagross, and then an energy or a draw supporter. Probably draw supporter. I don't know if he's willing to gamble that he'll get an energy or not. Either way, definitely going to want a draw supporter of some sort, and if he doesn't have any energy and doesn't top deck it, that would still work out for him. So that's okay. And we get a DCE. I think we can. So we'll evolve, get Garbotoxin, so we just need to attach a tool. We'll Field Blower. Oh, okay. We'll attach, and then Field Blower, and then in. Get rid of all those cards that he worked so hard to choose. Get a Choice Band of our own. Espeon. I don't think we need to bench Espeon yet, but we can think about it a little. So the only way we're attacking right now is obviously with Koko. I think we need to attach the Choice Band. I think I'm trying to decide here. Oh, no. How did I not attach the Choice Band? That's horrible. We want the Choice Band there. I think I was mulling over. Whoa, okay. We just saw Necrozma come down. But he already used his GX attack. I wasn't. So I remember in game I did not consider the fact that he had already used his GX attack. But in retrospect, it's worth considering, of course. So I'm still kicking myself for not attaching that Choice Band. What was I thinking? Okay, so this is Metagross Necrozma. Necrogross. See a Max Potion onto the Shaman. Wow, that's an interesting choice. And Sycamore's away. Oh, because he needs a metal energy. It can't be psychic. Okay, there we go. Got his metal energy. He can take a KO on Koko now. one max potion get used? He has 2 psychic energies in the discard. We're gonna stick Koko up there for now. Draw another psychic energy. I think we do go ahead and bench this Koko. And what else? So there's definitely a draw in getting off on our Necrozma spread. If we attach Choice Band, that'll put him at 190, the Metagross, but part of me wants to, so if we Lele, we can get a supporter, we could end. The one thing that's a little tough here is we'd really like to get a Float Stone onto the Garb toxin. I choose to bench Lele here over the Espeon because we don't have enough spread damage anywhere to actually have devolving matter. So we'll go ahead. I am going to play down the Choice Band onto the benched Koko, and we'll go from there. I think I'm sort of digging for DC here. Okay. So we'll attach here. And we'll go ahead to hit that elixir, put it on the Necrozma. We can put the Float Stone onto Garbotoxin. Turn off abilities, that'll be good. You can retreat. Metagross is not able to attack this turn. So that should help things a bit. And next turn we will get a KO on Shaman with our GX. We'll have lots of damage on that Metagross on the active as well, on his Necrozma. Next turn is looking pretty good. We see a Guzma. Okay. Does he have a Choice Band in hand? Is he gonna be able to... So he's resetting... Yeah, he must have a Choice Band in hand. That sucks. Okay, so... Man, oh man. Okay. There's the Choice Band, so yeah, he's taking out the Necrozma. Part of me wonders if I waited too long. I think I have a tendency to wait like one turn too long, and it costs me a lot. Okay. So, we're gonna move up Koko. Do we want to bench a Trubbish? If we're gonna have to Sycamore, I think we should bench one of them. Although, I mean, Espeon's still a thing. Maybe we just play the Elixir and Sycamore? So close. So, stick it. Think onto Meowth. Because we can obviously already attack with Koko and maybe that'll let Meowth come into play. Okay, we get a Super Rod. We're gonna get rid of his Choice Band. I think what we're gonna do here, I think we want to attach. Okay, so let's get some energies back in the deck and maybe get our Necrozma back. Slow to power him up. We've already burned 3 of our elixirs. That's close, but and then I think if we attached Koko here, then we can choose whichever attacker feels better next turn. So we'll do another flying flip and finally get one prize off of the benched Beldum that never got anywhere. And then we have a Brigette. So 140 on this Metagross, 80 on the one on the bench. So if we get Espeon out next turn and we devolve, like we could play Brigette to get Espeon and devolve. Play the Choice Band. So if we go with Meowth, right? It's 50, 80 to the active. We're 10 now. Mewtwo would be able to take a KO on the active. Okay, so we're gonna go with Koko here. I think, I don't know, I'm super torn about potentially getting Espeon. I think we're just gonna wait and see what we get here. Okay, so we got Necrozma. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? We could bench Necrozma and attach DCE. But the Espeon will KO the active where all his energy is. Abilities are turned off. It's really close. Okay, so this I think works. I think. Okay. Espeon attached to Espeon. Is he gonna be able to do enough here? If we devolve, that one dies, the one on the bench. Had a Metang. Metang has 90 hit points, not 80. Oh gosh, okay. Well, we needed to do another round of spread. That's uncool. Okay, so he's down to 3 prizes. Abilities are off. As long as he doesn't have Field Blower, he won't be able to KO Espeon this turn. He sends up the Metang, which will immediately become a Metagross because I apparently suck at math. Evolves the benched Beldum and attaches another energy to Necrozma. Okay, and he does evolve, still doesn't have his abilities. Do we see a supporter? Really not sure about leading out a Brigette. A Brigette? Really? What does Brigette get him? I guess if you don't have anything else, it might be helpful, but seems kind of strange. want off Brigette? Oh, Necrozma and Lele just for the attack. I guess Lele does well against Koko. Ooh, Guzma. Okay, okay. So, if we Guzma Shaman with the Choice Band on one of our Kokos, we get a one-hit KO. That's nice. Okay. Okay. We should attach an energy. Who do we want the energy on? Am I really just gonna skip it? Yes. Because I'm silly. We do get 2 prizes here. We finally get our Trashalanche, but we don't have any Trubbish left. We get the final Max Elixir. Yeah, Trubbish gone. That's what I wanted to double check there. So if he attacks Koko, he's left with no energy. I mean, I guess if he can get abilities back, that's fine, but he needs a Field Blower then. Okay. Okay. So he KOs Koko, gets him down to 2 prizes. We have a DCE. We have a DCE. We can totally win next turn. If he doesn't, we can win next turn because we hit for weakness against Necrozma with our Espeon. We're gonna win the game with. This is awesome. He doesn't. He just played in, so there's no way he can get to our Espeon. Yeah, we're totally going to be able to. We can't. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna attach DCE to Espeon. We're gonna KO, or it will hit for 140. That'll KO Necrozma. We're gonna win the game, hitting for weakness with Espeon's 70 damage attack. And interestingly enough, anytime we're facing Psychic Pokemon, that would work. 2 attachments, a DCE and a Psychic. And with Choice, we hit for 140, we hit for 100 against anything. That kind of makes up for not having Mewtwo. We're not as dependent on our opponent's energy. Alrighty, and we win. That was a really interesting game. I think even without Espeon there, we might have had a chance to lock it down. But it definitely would have been a lot closer. Anyway, with that, we'll wrap up this episode looking at a bunch of different Metagross matchups. And please, as always, if you like the video, then like the video and comment and subscribe. I know last time someone commented with a mistake I had made, and it was awesome. That's part of why I do these videos. I know I'm not the best Pokemon player ever, but I want to get better. So, yeah. Anyway, without any more rambling, I will wrap up for today. I'm signing off. See you next time.